The business, motherfucker.
The Daily Read. Your source for news, politics, sports, and all things trending. Here's your host, Marcus Gentry.
Remarkable to me to look at a narcissistic relationship. In essence, it's like looking into a mirror and nothing's looking back at you. It's terrifying.
Ooh, good metaphor. Should I stay or should I go is your book about narcissism. What defines someone to be a narcissist?
A narcissist is, let's talk about it in terms of sort of the key kinds of pillars, if you will. It's a person who lacks empathy, who's really entitled, meaning that they expect special treatment to be given to them, but nobody else. They're very grandiose. They harbor huge fantasies. They only want to affiliate with people they think are as cool or as interesting as they are. They're very superficial. They're very concerned about their appearance, the appearance of people around them. I always think of them as beautiful facades with not a lot behind them. They don't regulate their emotions very well. They're very prone to throwing tantrums, getting angry very quickly, especially if they don't get their way. And they can be really hypersensitive to criticism. They're willing to dole it out, but they absolutely can't take it. So those are some of the key elements we see in a person who's narcissistic.
And there you go, people. That was Dr. Armani. I want to pronounce her last name right. Darvishula. Dr. Armani Darvishula. See, this is the Daily Read, and I am your host, Marcus Gentry. Now, today is a special day for me. I'm doing my show early because I'm celebrating the 4th of July, just like I celebrate Juneteenth. I'm celebrating the 4th of July. I'm going to do it in a private setting with very few people. But this show right here is going to be one of my greatest shows. I'm telling you, people, it's going to be one of the greatest shows. And the reason why it's going to be greatest shows because today I'm going to prove to you why this show is taking off all across this country. You see, I have been experimenting on a narcissist for 7 months. Okay? And this person, this woman, she doesn't know that I've been experimenting on her for the last 7 months. You see, I've been working on this show right here, this particular show, for 7 months, people, because I've had friends who've asked me to do a show on narcissism, and I keep holding them off, telling them to wait, telling them to wait, telling them to wait. And see, narcissism is a mental disorder where narcissists don't look at you as a human being. To a narcissist, you're a commodity. Okay, you're a tool for them to move to the next level. You're not human to them. You know, they can see a human being get hit by a car and giggle, and their dog that they walk around with gets caught up on their fence, and they'll start breaking down crying. There is something off with these people. Narcissists have something missing that normal people who will see a person gets hit by a car will rush out to try to save this person or see about this person. Narcissists have something missing. And see, in the hood or in the the places where people aren't used to big words and scientific speak, I try to bring you things that are happening in our communities, people. All of us don't live in the hood, but I try to bring you things that's happening in our communities, that's happening all over the United States, but some of us can't put a finger on it. Some of us can't put an understanding to it. I'm not going to talk about, see, I got my green book right here. This is my log book. And like I say, I've been doing an experiment on this narcissist for the 7 months, and I've been keeping track of the things that I've been doing to this person, the things she does, and I've been keeping track of it because I knew the day was going to come when I was going to do this show. I've had a good friend of mine. He passed away. Actually, he took his own life. him and his wife split. I don't know. He wouldn't tell me exactly what was the problem, and he offered. He wanted to talk to me about it, and I talked to him about it several times, and I told him, pray about it, seek counseling. But I never in my wildest dreams would thought that he would do something like that. I'm not going to say his name, just like I'm not going to say this woman that I've been experimenting with. I'm not going to say her name, out of respect for both of them, because I try to be a very respectful person, but at the same time, when I decided to get in the media, I knew that, there were going to be certain things in my life that could put me in danger, that I would see, that I wouldn't understand. This is the role we take upon ourselves when we decide to jump into this arena of media. Now, I want to give a prayer out to his family. Let them know, because some of them watch my show, that I love you guys and I hope and pray for you. My other good friend, these are my brothers, he passed away, and I'm thinking it was COVID-19. I think he died in his sleep. So I've lost two people, and I want to give a prayer to them and their families and wish them well in these trying times. The whole narcissism thing, I decided to go ahead and do the show, get it over with, and stop playing games with this person. Like I said, I'm going to talk about that on the end of my show. So now that we finna get into narcissism, I have to give you certain terminology. I got to give you certain terminology, because without this terminology, once I start speaking about narcissism, you're going to not know, you're not going to understand what I'm talking about. Okay? So the first segment of the show, I'm going to talk about the terminology. The second part of the show, I'm going to talk about narcissism, the people who are easily affected by it, and I'm going to talk about the 4 types of narcissism. And then the last part of my show, I'll open up the green book and I'll discuss the things that I did as an experiment with this person and the things that I went through with this person. I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. That's not what I do. When I do my show, I try to bring y'all some real stuff. You can research it yourself. Okay? So let's get into the terminology. Okay. First of all, narcissists, when they find a victim, and that's what you are, a victim. And I don't want you men that's watching this, because this is mostly for the ladies, because there are more men narcissists in America than women narcissists. But every now and then, a woman will pop up being just as narcissistic as men. So there are about, out of 100%, there are about 60% narcissist men and 40% narcissist women out of 100%. Okay, that's how the numbers pan out. So there's more narcissists. You're more than likely to run across a narcissist man than you would a narcissist woman. Okay, but that doesn't mean there are no narcissist women out here. So for you men who are watching this, understand that if you think that you can't be abused because you're tough, you lift weights, you got guns, there are women out here who will abuse you. Mothers can be narcissists to their sons. Girlfriends can be narcissists to their boyfriends. Wives can be narcissists to their husbands. So and young girls, your daughters, can be narcissists to their fathers. So just because you're a man, don't think that you're immune to the effects of narcissism. Okay? I want to get that understood before I continue on for all you men that are watching this. I'm doing this for the ladies because more women have asked me to do this show than men. Matter of fact, I haven't had any men ask me to do this show. But some of you men who watch my show understand that narcissists And narcissist abuse, it's a form of abuse. Most people look at abuse as physical abuse. I'm beating somebody. But there is an emotional abuse that women can do to men. So some of you men that are watching this, don't tune out just because this is a talk about narcissism. I need you men to listen to this too. But this is more so for the women. Okay? So now I'm going to get to the nitty gritty. The terminology. The first terminology you got to remember when you hear me say it, love bomb. Okay? Love bomb is when a narcissist, man or woman, meets the victim. They sex them up. Now, for a man narcissist, his sex doesn't always come in the form of actual sex. For a male narcissist, it's more of comforting. It's more of sexuality. It's not more sex. It can be. Sometimes it is. But for the male narcissist, it's more of that feeling that woman gets, that charisma that man narcissist puts off, that gets her hooked. Now, for the female narcissist, it's more sex. It's more, sexuality. It's a lot of sexuality too, but it's more sex. When you get off from work, in between the day, you could be washing clothes and they'll jump in the bed, come give me some. You could be sitting on the couch watching a movie. Next thing you know, you're getting head. So for the women narcissists, they get their hooks in you through sex mostly. Now the men, it's a little different. Okay, it's a little bit different. But love bomb is what you need to understand. Love bomb comes first. Okay? Narcissism is a drug. Adoration and the sense of people liking them, adoring them, it's like a drug to a narcissist. They have to be the life of the party. They have to have they have to be at the front of everything. Okay? So once they love bomb you, usually the victim falls in love. Now remember what I said at the beginning of the show. A narcissist really don't love you. That's not saying they don't care for you. Because you are a part of their supply. I'm going to give you that word too. That's another word you need to watch out for. They care for you as a supply. You're supplying their want for admiration. You're supplying their, oh man, that's a good job. You're supplying that certification that they need. It's like a drug to these people. Okay? So that's the number one thing. Remember, love bomb. Number two. Now, this is tricky because the reason why this is tricky is because, how can I put it? The reason why this is tricky because you can get rid of them and they planned it. Okay? It's called the discard. First comes the love bomb. And when the narcissists get bored, they will discard you. That don't mean they don't have strings attached to you, like a phone call every now and then. Or they might shoot you a text of them in a nightgown. You know what I'm saying? A sex text every now and then. That's what you call keeping a string attached to you. But when they discard you, they done moved on to another supply. You're not a human to these people. You're a source of need. Get this understood for all you men and women out there. Get this understood. Okay? A narcissist sits in the center. And they have a dude over here or a woman over here, a guy over here or a woman over here, friends over here. Half of these people you don't even know. You would never even meet these people. And the reason why is because when it comes time for them to discard you, they don't want you to be able to find them. They might live a whole nother life for 6 months somewhere else. But the whole time they're living somewhere else with a whole nother life, they're texting you. They're sex texting you. They're sending you pictures. What do you think about me in this dress? What do you think about me in this suit? They're keeping strings attached to you because you're not human to them. Your emotions don't mean nothing to these people. It's all about them. You're a tool for them to step forward in life and move up in life. And once they feel like they're bored of you, or they feel like you don't have too much more to give, they'll disappear and move on to the next person or the next group of friends. I'm hoping y'all understanding this. First is the love bomb. They put it on you, sometimes for weeks straight. Get whatever they can get out of you, and it's not necessarily financial. I'm going to talk about that later on. Because a narcissist don't even have to have money. It's not about money to these people. It's about a mental disorder where they have to be accepted. Part of it is because they don't even accept themselves. So now you got the love bomb, then they discard you. When they discard you, you're sitting back feeling like, dang, what the hell did I do? She just up and disappeared. Or if you're a female, man, this guy just, me and him was having sex 2-3 times a day. Next thing I know, man, he just disappeared. Oh, I got a text from him the other day. It's been 2 weeks. He ain't said nothing to me for 2 weeks. So it's all a manipulation. It's all of a plan. But when I tell you it's a manipulation, I don't want y'all to get this confused with conning. I'm going to talk about that later on because some people get finessing and con game confused with narcissism. There's a difference, and I'm going to explain the difference later on. Right now, I just want you to learn the terminology. We got the love bomb. We got the discard. Now, wherever the narcissist is, you done started living your life again. You was hurt. The person just broke up with you, or you broke up with them because they started an argument with you. See, that's the key to a discard. You might not always get broken up with. Sometimes they can do something so crazy and argue with you because they already know you finna kick them out or break up with them. So once you break up with them, that's all they needed. They gone. Once they gone, and you get used to them not being there, you get a text from them every now and then. Sometimes a narcissist will even come back and give you sex every now and then. So you'll get this text from them every now and then. When they get tired of being around the people that they're around, sometimes the people that they're around wakes up and say, damn, I'm dealing with a narcissist. So now they done got found out over here. So now they want to come back. This is called hoovering. Okay? This is called hoovering. They hoover their way back into your life. So they'll give you a call crying, or give you a call mad. You know, if you're a woman, you might get a phone call 12 o'clock at night, some dude that and you ain't talked to in a month. 2 o'clock in the morning, hey man, what you doing? Man, I just got out of jail. He's lying. He ain't been in jail. He's been laid up with somebody else. Man, I just got out of jail, man. I need a place to stay, man. I'm mad as hell. Oh, that's where you been, baby? Yeah, man, I ain't want to tell you I was in jail because I knew you were going to try to come down here and get me out. So now they done lied and gaslighting. That's what you call gaslighting. It's lying. Hoovering and gaslighting are terminology that I'm going to use later on in the show. So what they do is they hoover you and gaslight you and ease their way back into the house, back into your life. Okay. So now the cycle starts all over again. When they come back into your life, they throw it on you. They love bomb you again because they hoping you'll forget about the month or the 2 or 3 weeks that they disappeared. It starts all over again. A cycle. A cycle. It starts all over again. The love bomb, the discard, the hoovering, the gaslighting, and then it's back to the love bomb. Okay, now, that's the terminology, okay? Now, there's other terminology that you need to know, okay? Like supply. Hold on, let me wet my whistle. By the way, every week when I only drink once a week, so every week when I do my show, I might go to the liquor store and buy a different brand of liquor that I've never tasted before. And Carlo Rossi is what I'm drinking today. It's a sweet red. Now I drink Carlo Rossi, but I drink the Sangrin. I like the Sangrin better. It's a little sweeter, but the sweet red is pretty good. But anyway, back to what I was saying about the narcissist. There are other terminology that you need to know. Supply. You are not a human being to these people. You are a supply for their need of recognition. Okay? This is how these people move, man or woman. Some of y'all got to get this understood. And see, the person that I've been experimenting on didn't realize when she came into my life that I got 2 family members, a man and a woman in my life that are narcissists that's been around me since I was 5. These are my family members. So my whole family has had to deal with these 2 individuals for decades. So when she tried to pull the whole narcissist stunt on me, I was like kryptonite to it. At first, I didn't know what I was dealing with because you got several different types of narcissism. My family members are outright narcissists. You can see them coming. The whole family, when they see them, they're like, oh, here we go. Here they come. So I was used to that type of narcissism. This woman is a covert narcissism. Covert means secretive. Okay? So I'm gonna get into the next. After I do this commercial break, I'm gonna come back because I gave you the terminology. Alright? I gave you the terminology. Now on the next segment of the program, I'm gonna talk about how we put all this together. I'm gonna talk about how there are 4 different types of narcissists, and I'm gonna talk about the 5 different type of victims or people that they attack. And when I say victims and attack, they're not beating you up or attacking you. They go after these people because they know people that are aware of narcissism and narcissist behavior don't deal with them. So they try to find victims. And what wound up happening in my situation, I've never dealt with a covert narcissism. You see, people like Donald Trump, they're what you call malignant narcissists. I'm going to get into all that later, but people like that are out in the open with their narcissists. Okay? And that's the type of narcissist I'm used to. I have never dealt with a covert narcissist. The type of person that sneaks in under cover of darkness. I never dealt with that. So when it came out, I'm gonna keep it real with my fans. I'm gonna keep it real with the people that love my show. I was messed up. I'm like, damn, I can't believe this happened to me. And I'm usually the type of person that's aware of these stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell you my story, but I'm gonna leave that to the last of the show. Now, when we get back, I'm gonna start talking about the different types of narcissism. Stay tuned, people.
The business, motherfucker.
The Daily Read.
Let's explain gaslighting a little more. What does that look like?
Gaslighting looks like, literally, like I said, when somebody kind of denies your reality. So you might say something like, I feel really sad that you said that to me. And they'd say something like, you have no right to say that. You have no right to feel that way. Or they'll say something, you'll have an argument with them, and they will have said something terrible to you a couple of days before. And you'll say, listen, when you said, and they'll say, I never said that. And so it's literally like they deny your reality. And when somebody says, I never said that, most normal people tend to question themselves. And so, in fact, I always say one of the ringers that you're in a relationship with a narcissist who's gaslighting you is you start feeling the need to voice record your conversations with them so you can play it back to them. I always say, once you feel like you need voice memos in a relationship, it may be time to get out.
The business, motherfucker.
The Daily Read.
All right, people, we back with the Daily Read, and I am your host, Marcus Gentry. For all my truckers out there, I know y'all getting a kick out of this. But like I said, for all my people that can't see me because you're driving and you listen to me on podcast, and by the way, you can catch me on Anchor, you can catch me on iHeartRadio, you can catch me on YouTube. Just go to Money Making Biz, or you can go to the Daily Read at my mind's gone right now. I'm drinking this Carlos Rossi. But you can find me on the Daily Read with Marcus Gentry on YouTube. Now, when you get on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, subscribe to me, and give me your thoughts of what you think about the show. Like I said, this is going to be one of my greatest shows. I've been working on this show for 7 months, and I got a lot of females that have been asking me to do this show. Now I'm finna get into the meat and potatoes. I gave you the terminology at the first of the show. Now I'm finna get into the meat and potatoes of narcissists, okay? This is something you got to understand this, people. You are not a human being to these people. Okay? Narcissism spans over all cultures. White, black, it doesn't matter. This is not a racial issue right here. Narcissists are people who will step on you just to get to the next level in life. A narcissist can start off in the projects, and by the time she or he is 30, they done weasel their way into a mansion. And some of you guys are going to get that confused with conning. That's not conning. That's not finessing. These people have a real mental disorder. Let me explain to you the difference for all of you, my listeners out there, the difference between somebody who's conning, running, we call it in Memphis, popping con. You know, the con game. Or, running game. Or finessing. That's different from narcissism. It's similar, but it's different from narcissism. The reason why it's different from narcissism is because what happens is the narcissist is not after the money. The narcissist is after recognition and admiration. They want to be seen in a good light because many of these people don't like themselves. A con man still has emotional ties to people. A con man might rob you for $12,000, keep half of it or most of it, walk down the street to an orphanage and give $2,000-$3,000 to the orphanage and walk off smiling, and you will never see that con man again, ever. A narcissist will love bomb you for $12,000 just so they can go rent a Bentley, ride around with their friends in a Bentley, and once all the money is spent up, they're going to disappear for 2 or 3 weeks because they know you're mad at them. And then they're going to call you back and say, I got robbed. Somebody robbed me. And they took all the money. You see, there's a difference. There's a difference, people. A narcissist will get $12,000 from you and go to an orphanage and con them because of the sympathy factor. An orphanage is going to look at them like, oh, my dear child, you're homeless, you need some food. Now, she's got $12,000 in her pocket. She wants that recognition of the pastor at the church or the orphanage or he wants that recognition of the pastor or the church or the orphanage looking at them like a wounded animal and comforting them. It's a mental disorder. People get it confused. I'm going to give you another example of why. People get it confused. Say you got a woman, okay? Say you got a woman who picks her friend up from one guy's house. And she say, girl, where you going? I'll drop me off across town at the other guy's house. And the girlfriend says, girl, you finessing these guys out here. You finessing them. She's not. Her girlfriend is driving her around thinking that she's finessing these guys, but she's not finessing these guys. One guy comforts her, the other guy comforts her, and she's using her friend too. She's a victim of narcissism too. Everybody around her is a victim. Everybody. She'll shit on her friend. The only reason she even hangs with her friend is because her friend's boyfriend has tickets to the Titans game. She likes to go to the Titans game all dressed up so she can take photos and pictures at the Titans game. That's the only reason she even hangs with this girl right here. You see, it's a mental thing with these people. They don't look at money. They will use money to look good, but 9 times out of 10, you go to their house, they living in a dump. Because it's not about what they got in their personal life. It's about how people perceive them in public. It's a mental disorder. Okay, now I'm gonna get into the 4 different types of narcissists. Okay, now the first 2 types of narcissists are more wealthy narcissists. Okay, the first type is the outright narcissist. They are not covert at all. They nasty. They not nasty as far as dirty, but you know, they wear all the latest clothes. They got Jordans on their feet, but they ain't even got a car. You know, they can walk around with $200 shoes on their feet with all the latest gear, and will talk about you because you don't have the latest gear. And when you see them go home, they stand with their mama. These are narcissists. Narcissism is more in our communities than what people think. Okay, now, that's the first type of narcissist. Most of them are wealthy people because they can afford to be outright narcissists. They can afford to come out with their narcissism because they got money. The second type of narcissist is a wealthy narcissist too. It's called malignant narcissists. Now, the malignant narcissists, they're the nasty ones. They will look at you and be like, get him out of here. He's not properly dressed. Get him out of my sight. Those are the malignant narcissists. Okay? Those first 2 categories, the out and open narcissist and the malignant narcissist, those 2 type of people usually have money. And the reason why they got money sometimes is because of their narcissism. They didn't mind stepping on whoever it took to get to where they're at. Now, the more poorer or the more low income scale narcissists are the covert narcissists, which is the woman I dealt with a couple of months back. The woman I dealt with, she's a covert narcissist. She's not rich, doesn't have a pot to piss in or when to throw it out of. But when you see her or you interact with her, you would think she's the Queen of England. Understand how narcissism works. So, the covert narcissists are the type of people who, they don't have a lot of money, but they might take glamour shots. They might pose for a modeling agency. They might pose for a modeling agency. And when they pose for a modeling agency and don't nobody pick up their work and put them in a magazine, they say things like, I was just before my time. You know, if I was 20 years younger, you know, I would blow everything out of the water. You know, it wouldn't be no competition. You know, these are the poor narcissists. These are the covert narcissists. Most of these people are poorer, but they still have this air about themselves that they're better than everybody. Okay? Now, the last narcissist, I've never experienced these, but I'm sure I probably have, but I didn't notice it. It's what you call a community narcissist. Now, a community narcissist is a whole different ball game, but it's the same. Community narcissists are the type of people who help the homeless, but they're only helping the homeless and doing community work because they expect a plaque. They expect trophies. You know how these people are. You see them all the time. I probably have personally met these people. I just never paid attention to it because I do a lot of charity work myself. And I'm almost certain that it's going to be a narcissist or two mixed in with these people that do charity work. These are the type of people who, most people that do charity work, they don't go after accolades. They get them, but they're not expecting them. Most people that are community narcissists, they do charity work and help others because they expect every year to get that 2019, 2020, 2021 Man of the Year or Woman of the Year award. They expect it. And if they don't get it, I'm not coming. I'm not coming down there, man. I deserve to get it. Such and such don't deserve to get it. He didn't do more charity work than I did. Those are what you call community narcissists. Okay, so those are the 4 different types of narcissists. You have the outright, out in the open narcissists. You have the malignant narcissists. Those 2 are mostly rich people. You see those in rich people. So the poorer narcissists are the covert narcissists. They hide it. And the reason why a covert narcissist hide their narcissism is because they're poor. They can't be out in the open like a rich narcissist. They can't shoo you off because people are going to look at them like, how you shooing me off like you the Queen of England? You ain't got a pot to piss in. So covert narcissists are more of the poorer narcissists. They have to be hidden. They have the same ideals. They have the same lack of empathy that a rich narcissist has, but they can't come out in the open with it because people will turn against them and abandon them. They won't be able to get that supply. Remember that key word. You're not a human being. You're a supply. They're not going to get that fix. Then you have the community narcissists. The people that go out. Some of these can be rich too. You have a lot of people who do work in the community who got money. Then you got people who do work in the community that are poor. So that can go either way. The community narcissists. These are the type of people who do charity work, they do work in the community, but they expect something. They expect it. And if you don't give it to them, you finna catch hell. You don't give them that plaque at the grand ball, or you don't give them that ribbon or that trophy, they gonna talk about it for a whole year. They gonna let you have it every time they see you. You gonna catch it. Okay, those are community narcissists. Now that I've given you the types of narcissists, now I'm finna get into another real deeply important part of narcissism. The people who are victims of it. You see, there are 5 categories of people who are victims of narcissism. Okay? Now, the first category of victims of narcissism are over empathic people. You know, over empathic people are the type of people who are yes men. Oh man. Oh yeah, for real? Yeah, man, you did good, man. Narcissists love these type of people. They love these type of people. They don't even have to be having sex with these type of people. They don't even have to be in a relationship with these type of people. If you always nodding your head, yes, you a yes man. Narcissists love these type of people. You're always congratulating them because that's a drug to a narcissist. That's the meat and potatoes of their life. That's what they love. That's what they will go out here and step on you for. Not because of money. This is not a finesser. This is not a con woman. This is not a con man. People get that confused. We got to understand that. Narcissists are having a mental break. They have a grandiose ideal that they're supposed to be somewhere else, not stuck in the life that they're living. Some people think that might be a good thing. No, it's not. Because some people start living in unreality. Some of y'all gonna disagree with that. Some of y'all gonna say, well, a person's supposed to strive to do better. There's a difference. There's a difference from striving to do better, but you still grounded in reality. I'm gonna give you an example. It's in my green book. Because like I said, I did an experiment on the narcissist that I dated. She didn't even know I was doing an experiment on her. We were laying in bed one day. She ain't got a pot to piss in or when to throw it out of. She say, MTSU homecoming coming up. Why don't we rent a Bentley and ride around Nashville for the homecoming? I know some of y'all, listen man, I don't make this stuff up, people. I don't make this stuff up. It's in my green book. I don't make this stuff up. She asked me, without a dime in her pocket, why don't me and you rent a Maserati or a Bentley and ride around Nashville for MTSU homecoming? I was like, what? We got bills in this house and you ain't paying none of them. You need to get a job. Listen people, narcissists are some dangerous people. Okay? Narcissists, I'm trying to make light of the situation because I'm not worried about nothing in life. Nothing. I'm good. I done raised my kids. My kids are grown. They out here in the world doing well. I can defend myself. Okay? So I'm not worried about nothing. Now, I do this show for the love of it, man. I do this show for the people because I want y'all to understand how these people work. It wasn't even about the money for her. It was about the fact that she wanted to be seen in a Maserati or a Bentley. She even got on her phone and was scanning through people who were renting out their cars for the homecoming. She got this website where people rent out expensive cars for the low. This is foolishness. But like I said, this is a mental break with these people. They're not grounded in reality. And I had to tell y'all that because some of y'all might argue with me and say there's nothing wrong with somebody wanting to strive to do better. I didn't say that. As long as you keep it in reality. As long as you keep it grounded in reality. Because I want to do better. And I am going to do better. This show taking off. When I do shows like this, these shows like this is what boosts my numbers up. Because I keep it real. I don't sugarcoat nothing when I do my show. Everything I do, I either have experience on it or I done studied on it. Period. I've been running an experiment on this person for 7 months. For 7 months. I've been doing things that I read that you could do to a narcissist just to see if it'll work. Oh man, trust me. When I tell you this experiment was something serious, it was outrageous, but I had to do it because when I talk about a subject, I want to know that I'm talking about something real or is this some fake stuff. Because I got 2 narcissists in my family. We didn't really know what they was because when you from the hood or from the from projects and stuff like that, when you younger, you really don't, these people moving sideways, but you really can't put a finger on it. And then when I start getting older and more educated and start dealing with multiple people, I started understanding what a narcissist was. I just didn't know what a covert narcissist was. Okay? So, that's why this female that I'm talking about, she kind of caught me off guard. But once I found out what she was, because when it came out, and I started seeing the signs that were similar to my other 2 family members, I knew it was like kryptonite then. I already knew how to treat her and how to manipulate the situation. So now I'm finna get into the other it's 5 people that narcissists go after. Okay, I already got rid of number 1. Number 1 is over empathic people. These are the yes men of America. I'm talking about, yeah, boss. Yeah, man, you on point with that. They don't have an argument bone in their body. Everything is yes, sir, no, sir. Man, you got it spot on, man. You know what you talking about. They don't have no argument, no fight, none whatsoever. Narcissists love these people. Number 2, rescuers. These are the Captain Saver hoes. This is what people around the way call Captain Saver hoes, the rescuers. You know what I'm saying? All narcissists are not whores. Don't get it twisted. Because like I said, it doesn't have to do with money or sex or money for sex. It's all about an emotion that they want to get out of other people. It's emotional adoration from other people. You got to get that understood. But rescuers, the type of people who fall for the, yeah man, I'm doing bad, baby. Oh baby, you can come stay with me. Or man, I'm doing bad. Oh baby. Narcissists love these type of people. And there's nothing wrong with helping people. There's nothing wrong with agreeing with people. But you gotta watch for narcissists, because narcissists will latch on to that. And once a narcissist latch on to a person like that, they don't want to let them go. You might be dealing with this person for 5 or 6 years. I'm talking about going through it for 5 or 6 years. They'll disappear for 2 months. They'll disappear for 3 months, pop back up. You might fool around with them for 2 or 3 months. They'll disappear again. You don't know what's going on with these people. So the rescuers, or I call them Captain Saver hoes, these type of people, narcissists love. Number 3, overly positive people. Now, I know some women who are into crystals, and they're into the whole crystal movement, white magic and things like that. I know a lot of people all across the spectrum, and they're into positive energy. You see, I often tell my sisters that are into things like that they have to be careful of narcissists, because narcissists latch on to over positive people. The type of person, oh man, you can do it. I know you can do it. Man, you can do it. I know you can do it. Just stick with it. You can do it. Those type of people right there, those type of people right there, man, over positive people, narcissists love these people. Because it's like cocaine. These people will latch on to you like a pit bull. Okay, that's number 3. Number 4 is forgivers. There's nothing wrong with forgiving somebody, people. Okay? There's nothing wrong with it. Okay? Because one day you might need somebody to forgive you. I'm trying to keep it serious on a serious note this time. But narcissists love forgivers, because once they love bomb you and discard you, they're gonna try to hoover you and gaslight you and hope you forgive them. And people that are forgivers, always forgiving, are going to wind up being in a 5-10 year cycle with a narcissist. 5-10 years, forgiving. Okay? There's nothing wrong with forgiveness. There's nothing wrong with the people. You're not the problem. Understand that. Being a good person does not make you the problem. Okay? But the narcissist is the problem, because they have something missing. They have that empathy missing. They're not going to take that forgiveness and do better like some people would. They're going to take that forgiveness and say, oh, I got this one. And then they're going to love bomb you for about 3 or 4 weeks. And then things going to go right back to the craziness that's been going on. That's how the whole narcissist scheme works. Now, the last of these people are people who have had narcissist parents. Okay? Narcissist parents are the type of people who send their kids to school looking their best, not because they want their kids to look their best, because it reflects on them. You know, they're the nose stuck in the air type. You know, my kid don't wear nothing but Reeboks. I met a girl told me her kids don't wear nothing but Jordans. I'm like, why? Why? The little boy is 2 years old. By the time he put them shoes on his feet, he gonna grow out of them. And she told me this to my face. My son don't wear nothing but Jordans. I was like, wow, I won't be buying them. So you know, you got people out here, man, that have had parents who were narcissists. So what happens is, as they get older and a narcissist run across them, it reminds them of their parents. And they fall back into that cycle that they had with their parents. So it's like they done separate themselves from their mom. Now they're wandering around, working from job to job, living from life to life. Then they meet a woman or a man that reminds them of the narcissist relationship that they had with their parents. They love their parents. But now they done met a woman or a man who has the same traits. And they latch on to them, and the narcissist latch on to them, and it's a powder keg ready to explode. It's crazy. So now I'm gonna get into this last commercial break, and when I get back, I'm gonna talk about my experiment. I want to give my girl Jasmine Armstrong a plug too, because I talk about love bombing. And I'm gonna talk about it on my last segment. We'll be right back.
The business, motherfucker.
The Daily Read.
I'm really curious on when two narcissists date each other. In your practice, you are a clinical psychologist. You've talked to all these people. What does that relationship look like?
It's basically a psychological cage fight. I mean, honestly.
I shouldn't be laughing because this does affect a lot of people.
It's fascinating because what ends up happening is nobody's empathic. Nobody's listening. It's like watching 2 3-year-olds playing at a table and they're not playing with each other, right? They're kind of each, how do I look? Do you want to do this? No, I want to do this. It's very, they're kind of playing by themselves. Everything actually goes well for a while because they really only care that the other one looks good, so they can deliver on that.
They only care that the other one looks good because it makes them
look good. So it's like this is like the guy is like, I need a hot girlfriend.
Right.
It's that kind of a model of like, I need to look good, but my partner makes me look good. Wow. So it's almost these larger than life kinds of almost too pretty couples that you sometimes make you wonder, like, why is everyone looking so good
But
here?
don't we want a partner who makes us look good?
No, we want a partner who makes us feel good. There's a difference.
There's a big difference.
The business, motherfucker.
The Daily Read.
All right, people, we're back with the Daily Read, and I am your host, Marcus Gentry. Now, on the first two segments, I talked about the definitions of the words that I was going to use as I'm going through my spiel of narcissism. The second part of my show, I talked about the different types of narcissists, and I talked about how, the different type of people that narcissists are attracted to. Okay. On this last segment, I'm gonna dive into my experiment. First of all, I'm gonna give a shout out to my homegirl, Jasmine Armstrong. She does a show called Tea Talks, and the reason why I want to give a shout out to her is because a lot of people get love bombing confused when it comes to narcissism. And let me explain that. Because see, Jasmine, her and the girls that do the show with her, they talk about sexuality, they talk about sex, when it comes to the female and things like that. They even have, it's a good show. Y'all need to watch it. It's a very good show. I sat in and watched a couple of these pre-recorded shows, and I watched them live. Man, them girls, they are excellent. Y'all need to watch the show. But what happens is, the initial start of a narcissist relationship with a normal person is the love bomb phase. Okay? And what happens is, during the love bomb phase, you want to watch for these narcissists because they will overly sex you. And Jasmine can probably tell you on her show that women have needs too, and sex is a part of a normal relationship. So it's hard to know the difference between a narcissist love bombing you and you being in a normal relationship with a woman who has a high sex drive. There's a difference. Okay? Because women and men have high sex drives. But love bombing, when it comes to narcissists, is to overly hook you on sex, to reel you in with sensuality. Okay? That doesn't mean everybody who constantly wants you inside them, if you're a man, or want to have sex with you, that doesn't mean they're a narcissist. Okay? Everybody that cheats on you is not a narcissist. Okay? Everybody that's a con man is not a narcissist. Everybody who's a narcissist don't necessarily be a con man. So y'all got to understand, narcissism is a thing of its own. There are signs you can do. There are things you can do and signs that you can do and watch for to know if you're dealing with a narcissist. Usually there's about 6 or 7 traits of a narcissist. If a person has 1 or 2 of those traits, that doesn't necessarily mean they're a narcissist. They can just be an asshole. Okay? If a man is with you for 20 years and he goes somewhere with his friends and sees a hooker and he gets drunk and have sex with her, he's a cheater. If you leave him, leave him. If you don't and you forgive him, that's cool. That doesn't make him a narcissist. Don't throw that word around, okay? I don't want y'all to get out here and call everybody you see doing something you don't like a narcissist, because that's not the case. You just might be with a woman who likes your sex. So she's over-sexing you. That doesn't make her a narcissist. Okay? Now, Tea Talks, I'm giving my homegirl Jasmine, I'm giving her a plug. Tea Talks, right now she's on Facebook. They do live shows on Facebook, and I want to sit down with her and get her. I want to get her set up where she's on iHeartRadio, because they got a very good show, people. Y'all check them out. If you my friend on Facebook, look her name up, Jasmine Armstrong, and once you get to her profile, you probably see T-Talks. And look the show up. It's a good show, people. But she, like I said, she can probably tell you that women have sexuality needs and things like that. That doesn't make them a narcissist. Okay, I'm going to get that out the way. Now, the things you got to understand and watch out for is the over-sexuality. That's basically getting their hooks in you. And the discard. Okay? Now I'm finna talk about the experiment I had. Because I like to keep it real with my people. Okay? Because like I said, I've raised 2 girls. I did some dealers in the streets. You know, I was a pimp at one time. And I dealt with a lot of women. So I've dealt with women. Okay? So by dealing with women, I've met a lot of sidewinders. You know, people that move kind of crazy. You got to watch these people. They move kind of crazy. So when I got custody of my kids, I cleaned myself up and started a whole new life for myself on the straight path. And when I first got with this person, I've been knowing this person almost 5 years. But when I first got with this person about 1.5 years ago, 4 months into our relationship, she left her clothes here and told me that she was going on a road trip with her girlfriends. Okay, now mind you, she sex bombed me. She love bombed me for weeks. But when she got tired of the game, she said, I'm finna go with my girlfriend on a road trip out of town. We do it every year. I'll be back in 2 or 3 days. I said, okay, you need something? You need some money? Because I'm thinking that we in a normal relationship. When I get in a normal relationship with a woman, I treat her with the utmost respect. Period. I'm not checking her phone. I'm not trying to sneak around, trying to see what she's doing. No, I'm not doing none of that. So when she made that move, she didn't come back. Remember what I said. The love bomb is the initial. The discard. The discard is when they disappear on you or get rid of you or break up with you or you break up with them. So instead of her breaking up with me, she left all her clothes here at my house and disappeared for 3 weeks straight. This is what a narcissist does. A narcissist gets you to thinking that you did something wrong. You didn't do nothing wrong. Always remember that. For all my males and females out there that's listening to my show, don't think that you did nothing wrong. These people are wired different in their mind. They wired different. So when she called me about the 3rd week, because I was calling her phone trying to find out, you know, damn, you supposed to be back in 3 days. What's going on? Didn't get no answer. So when she finally called me, she said she dropped the phone, cracked it. She had to get a new phone. She said her girlfriend going through some things and she's staying over her girlfriend's house. And I mean, it was when she started going into that game, that spiel, that gaslighting, it hit. I knew what she was. Because I've never dealt with a covert narcissist before. I've dealt with an outright narcissist because, like I said, I got people in my family that are outright narcissists. Okay? I got people in my family that man, you think they the queen of England. And they mentally messed up. Especially when they drink. But I said to myself, man, the king of game done got. Then I started thinking, because I was planning on doing a show on narcissism anyway, and this was like a godsend. See, you got to steal your mind and your body and your pockets when you dealing with a narcissist. And once I found out what she was, I said, okay. So when she called me, basically she was trying to gaslight me and get back in. Because what I had did was I packed up all her clothes and took them over to her mama house. Okay? And that's really why she called me. Packed up all her stuff and took them over to her mama house. Because I was ready to move on. So now she called me. And once she called me, that's when it finally hit. Like, I'm dealing with a full-blown narcissist. This is like gold. You know, so I said, okay. I said all the things that she wanted to hear, like, oh, baby, man, that's messed up. Oh, you need some help? You need me to come get you? She said, well, no, I'll be home, such and such. Okay. So, so I started getting my plans together. On how I'm finna experiment on this person. And I didn't tell I got a cousin who went to college for psychology. And I had went to my aunt's birthday party, and we was at Applebee's. And they asked me where was my girlfriend at. And I broke it down to them and told my family, I think I got a narcissist, man. They was like, for real? I was like, yeah, for real. I think I'm dating a narcissist. They was like, man, that's messed up. But I didn't tell them what I was planning on doing because I know my cousin. My cousin's a good woman. Okay, my cousin Anita, she's a good woman. And I know my cousin would have told me, Marcus, don't do it, man. Just don't do it. Because they know me. You know what I'm saying? They know me. I done cleaned myself up, but I can still get with the shit. So for all my truck drivers out there, I know y'all laughing. But so I said to myself, okay, I'm finna do some experimentation on this person. So when she came back in my life, I didn't ask her no question about where she was because I really didn't care. See, that's where a lot of people fall victim to the narcissist at, because their emotions get twisted up in the relationship, and to the narcissist, you're not a person. To you, that narcissist is your love. So what happens is you in a situation where you're not understanding what's going on. Why is this person acting like this? They're acting like this because your life don't matter. It doesn't matter. Everything revolves around the narcissist. That narcissist have people that they can go live with and stay with already on speed dial. People you don't even know, never even met. A narcissist might come in your life for 6 months, disappear on you. You might see them on Facebook somewhere, posted up in Missouri, and you live in Illinois. You're like, damn, what the hell is she doing way in Missouri? You know why? Because narcissists move like that. They move like that. So once I found out what she was, I'm different from most people because I've led a life that I had to deal with a lot of women. And I led a life where I raised 2 girls. So it was not, at first I was offended because I got. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell my audience and my fans, I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing, I'm not gonna lie. I was upset at first because I got. But I said to myself, you know what? It's alright. I'm finna experiment on this person. Okay, so now, like I said, I'm not gonna tell no names because I don't want to get sued. But just to put it to you like this, because most of my audience is not even my Facebook friends. They don't know nothing about my life. I got about 10,000 people that follow my show. So I can talk about this. The handful of people that watch my show that know me, and it's crazy how people don't support you that know you. So I'm bringing the people out here in the community that watch my show some real live stuff. Okay, I'm finna go over a few things that went on with me and the narcissist, cause like I said, I experimented on it. So there's this thing called gray rock. Gray rock is what you do to a narcissist when you don't want to argue with them. You go quiet on them. I started using that technique. Like one day, like I say, she ain't had no money. And I kept telling her to get a job. So one day, she said, babe, I want an iPhone 11. Will you get that for me? I said, damn, didn't you just buy that phone about 4 or 5 months ago? I think it was an iPhone 10 or 8 or something like that. She said, yeah, but I want an iPhone 11. Now, she just got through sex bombing me, love bombing me. But I'm like kryptonite. Once I find out what you is, Chief Dread coming out. So now, I'm sitting back like, man, how much that phone cost? She said $700. I said, man, you better start saving up some money. Hey, listen, people. I'm gonna tell y'all some real straight up stuff, man. These narcissists are so stuck on themselves, they don't even get it. They don't even get it. I did another trick on this narcissist. I started doing this last year around Thanksgiving because she kept trying to love bomb me. I started denying her sex. This is what you call sex starvation. Okay. I would have sex and wouldn't mess with her again for a whole week straight. Damn, man, you don't love me no more? That's what she would say. You don't love me no more? I'm like, man, I work, man. I'm tired. You ain't got no job. You know, it just, you know, so it's certain, see, everybody can't do this. And like I said, my cousin to tell you who studies psychology, don't do this. Okay? I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a trained professional. But I have been out here dealing with people a long time. Everything from whores to gangbangers. I've been out here. So I wanted to see, because I never got a chance to experiment on my 2 family members. Because like I said, they're out in the open, narcissists. You can see them coming. You know. But I've never had a chance to really experiment on a real narcissist. I mean a covert narcissist. So once we split again and she left again, I did another trick. It's called, this is a trick right here. It's called going dark, where you cut communication off. Okay, you cut communication off. You block them on your phone, block them on everything. Then I kept one piece of communication open through her sister. You know. This is real. You can't get no realer than this. This is real stuff here, people. She started panicking. This is what you call a narcissist panic attack. You can't get no realer than this, people. This is some stuff, man, that I couldn't dream of this stuff, man. And I had to get it documented, because I said to myself, man, this is going down in the history books. It's going down in the history books. So this is going to be one of my greatest shows. So then her cousin, I'm not going to say her cousin's name. Her cousin had a birthday party. I was going to buy her cousin an outfit for her birthday. So I told her about it. I unblocked her phone and I called her up. I said, you know, your cousin invited me to her birthday party. You know, she's good people. I want you to sign this birthday gift, and me and you, we're going to go down here and give it to her together. No, you better not give another woman no birthday gift. Matter of fact, we ain't even going to the birthday party. She wound up going anyway. You see, that's how narcissists work. If I would have went down there and took her cousin that birthday gift, she wouldn't have been the center of attention. Her cousin would have been, which is rightfully so because it's her birthday. But that's how narcissists work. They don't want nobody else to have your attention but them. But this is your cousin's birthday. So I just didn't go. And if the cousin is watching my show, because I know you probably do, I apologize. Happy late birthday. But listen, people. My final thing I want to tell y'all people before I end the show. Narcissism is a real mental disorder. People are not born with this. They have a mental break. They either been raped, they've been abused, they've been abandoned, they lost someone that's close to them and they feel like the world ain't came to an end, so they out there just do anything to anybody. Narcissism can happen many different ways. And I'm finna be serious for a moment. When you run across a narcissist, my suggestion to you is don't deal with this person. Because 9 times out of 10, a narcissist is going to go to the grave acting the same way that they do. Now, if you have a family member or somebody you just can't not deal with because they're close to you, like a family member, brother, sister, mother, father, son, daughter, how I suggest you deal with these people is try to get them help with a counselor, but at the same time, don't fall into the trap. Don't fall into the trap, people. Now, saying all of that, some of y'all are going to go out here and take this information that I gave you, and you're going to try to deal with these narcissists anyway. You're not me. Okay? You might be stronger than me mentally, but it's a lot of you that's not. Some of y'all is not going to be able to stand up to this, and you're going to wind up getting hurt, and you're going to wind up hurting that narcissist. Because once you get an understanding in your mind what type of person you dealing with, once you get an understanding, it's up to you to take a step back and say, you know what, man, go on about your business. Or just don't even care no more. And what I mean by not caring anymore, I'm going to put it plain and simple because I always like to keep my people real. Keep it real with my people. If you know you're dealing with a narcissist and you know how narcissists move, they come in for 2 or 3 months, love bomb you and disappear to go get love and affection somewhere else, then you got to treat them accordingly. You know, all right, you come over here and love bomb me, but now you got to go. You understand what I'm saying? You got to. If I suggest you don't deal with these people, period, because it's too much of a mental headache, especially if you're not cut like that. If you're not mentally cut like that to deal with these type of people, don't deal with them. Because there are some women out here and some men who don't play with their relationships. Okay? I'm 44 years old. You want to play with me? I'm going to play with you. I'm 44 years old. You love me, I love you back. You disappear on me, I disappear on you back. That's how I play the game. Everybody can't do that. You got to get that understood, people. Everybody can't do that. Some people take their relationships 100% straight up and down serious. And when people like that get with a narcissist, their whole world gets turned upside down. So all of you people out there who like your relationships serious, if you run across a narcissist, don't deal with these people because they dangerous. I'm gonna give a I'm gonna give a little tip to you women. Male narcissists are more dangerous than female narcissists because male narcissists are stronger than a woman. A male narcissist will attack you if you out them. So if you get with a narcissist and you find out he's a narcissist and you a woman, keep some mace in your purse if you break it off with him, and keep a pistol in your purse or a pistol in your purse. Keep some type of protection. A baseball bat in your car, a baseball bat in your closet, because male narcissists, once they find a good source of material, because that's what you are to them. You're not love, you're not a person, you're not a human being. You're a supply. And once a male narcissist finds a woman who's a good supply of nurturing, he don't want to let you go. So now he got you, he don't want to let go. He got a girl across town, he don't want to let go. He got an auntie that shows him affection, he don't want to let her go. He lives with his auntie. You know, that's the type, so male narcissists can be dangerous. Okay? Female narcissists, 9 times out of 10, won't attack you like a male narcissist will. I don't worry about that no way because I can protect myself, number one, by any means necessary. And number two, I don't take this shit serious. Period. So I don't worry about what I have done as far as experimentation. Don't worry about me. I'm good. I knew when I became a part of the media that there were certain things that was going to happen in my life anyway. I'm going to get hate mail. I've already gotten hate mail. People don't like me because I'm supporting Joe Biden. All kinds of stuff. So I don't worry about that. Now, for you men out there who find out you're dealing with a narcissist and you break it off with them, this is what you got to watch out for. This is what I got to watch out for now that I done outed this person. I didn't say her name, but there's a few people know who I'm talking about. There's a handful, like maybe 5 or 6 people like, oh, I know who you're talking about. But now that this person is outed as a narcissist, what happens is a narcissist try to tarnish your reputation. I don't care nothing about that. At all. Don't care nothing about that. See, that's how women narcissists do you. They'll go around telling people you're the cause of the relationship being broken up. You're the cause of why we're not doing this, we're not together. So that's what narcissists do. They don't take no responsibility for nothing. For nothing. The prime example is Donald Trump. He's one of the biggest, wide open, richest narcissists I know, and everybody knows right now to this day. They asked him not too long ago, did he take any responsibility for the coronavirus getting spread like it is? He said no. Plain and simple. Nope. He said it. Period. Didn't sugarcoat it. Didn't see, he's a wealthy narcissist. Like I was talking about earlier. Wealthy narcissists are malignant sometimes. They don't care. They'll stick their nose up at you and tell you to shoe on and, you know, like whatever. Okay? So I'm going to end this program. Like I said, this is one of my best shows here, people, because I'm bringing you some real stuff. It took me 7 months, people, to do this show, partly because I was doing experimentation on this person, because I wanted to see techniques that work. And if anybody want to call me and ask me about Grey Rock, going dark on a narcissist, anybody want to call me about certain techniques to get a narcissist away from you, just call, hit me up. Hit me up. You know, my phone number's posted. You know, you can hit me in the inbox on my show. It's up there. And I will answer your questions anytime you want me to answer your questions about narcissism. Because I've been studying this right here for 7 months, people. And this is a serious subject, and these people can be dangerous. But, you know, guard yourself. Keep your eyes open at all times, man, because there are some people out here that move like snakes, and they'll bite you. This is the Daily Read, and I'm out.
The business, motherfucker.
The Daily Read.
Business.